Hello, everybody. We are here today with Ralle from Hiveworkshop. We are going to be talking about quite a bit of fun things. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself more formally, but you got the sick Hive hoodie, rare, exclusive. I asked if it was being sold, and he said he's not yet. Waiting for Re-reforged to pick up. But yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. I was trying to debate whether or not I look like a hobo with this amount of facial hair.
I have had the same thought.
I decided I looked fine, and I didn't shave
yeah,
it. But
yeah. I was told by somebody out of thin air that I didn't look like a hobo. I didn't know what. Yeah, it was a compliment anyway.
so, Hiveworkshop. I feel like Hiveworkshop has been a foundation to Warcraft 3. Like, I'm not particularly privy, but like I don't know when it was first founded, but I do know that when I browse forums, there's posts going back to like 2004 or 2005. I'm just like, how are you solving my problem 15 years later? That's worrisome.
Yeah, Hiveworkshop actually started. Well, what you know today as Hiveworkshop isn't what was Hiveworkshop back then, but Hiveworkshop started in October 2004. And it was, I needed a website for my map, which is Warhammer 40k TD. Some people know it, most people don't. Typically they realize, oh, did you create that map? Because most people don't come to Hive these days because of Warhammer. So it started as people today have a Discord for their map. If Hiveworkshop was founded today, it would just be a Discord for Warhammer 40,000 TD. But we later branched out to other people's maps, and I don't know exactly when, around 2007, 2008, there was what was then known as the foundation of Warcraft 3, the WC3 search website, which was struggling. They were over their quota, and so people couldn't upload maps or anything anymore. And I said I could take the site over and like merge it with Hive, and they agreed. So my community grew tenfold or something, or hundredfold. I don't know. That's really what took Hive off from back then. Yeah. Should we just take the whole story now, or?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, now you guys, you have models, everything. I'm surprised that I feel like in this year in 2021, forums are just typically not a particularly active subset of the internet, but Hive is pretty active forum. Hasn't been derailed by Discords and all that.
We are sensing lower activity because of Discord, we think, but I don't know. How can we really change it? It is what it is. But when you upload your map on Hive, it looks better than when you upload it in Discord and more features. So I guess that's our competition. Yeah, but forums are still cool. I mean, there's been a long time where people just used Facebook, and now people are realizing more and more that Facebook sucks, and Facebook is just out there to take all your private data. And I think the past few years there's been a movement to create forums more, also with Discourse, I think it's called, a new forum system people are tending to use these days. So it seems like it's getting old school and cool again to have forums, and we survived the drought.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I used to be really into forums, like in a very specific period of my life. I feel like in high school, I was browsing a lot of like Travian forums or something. Those were the days.
Yeah.
I'm more a
Yeah, for
lurker
me, it's
now.
always been Warcraft or Diablo forums. Um, I remember as I was like 15 when I started Hive Workshop, and I just looked up to Warcraft research so much. I really, really loved that site. Wanted to copy it line for line. So it was cool that I got to take it over. Um,
Wow, you're a
yeah,
real hacker then. If you got a website up at 15.
yeah. I mean, it started with mapping. Mapping is really what got me into. I mean, I was using GUI, so some people wouldn't even call that programming. But it's what got me started at programming, and that led into web development because I needed the site, and that led to free driving lessons because I could help my driving instructor with web development, and that led to more Hive. I mean, Hive has been there all along. I've never been dormant with honing my web development skills. And then I realized that I could actually get an education. So I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. And my bachelor thesis was actually about something called compile time garbage collection in Jazz. So there was full circle there because it
Oh,
started with Warcraft, and my thesis was about Warcraft programming.
you did
That was
your
pretty cool.
thesis in jazz?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much jazz you've written, but you do these. You have to manage your memory so you don't have leaks. And I wrote a tool that keeps an eye on variables and tells you if you have lost a reference to a location or something, and can tell you on this line you created it, and on this line you lost reference to it. You have a memory leak there. It's not online on Hive anymore. It used to be. I have future plans to bring it back, but I had some problems. But I passed. Uh,
That's
yeah,
awesome. I
yeah,
know.
yeah. It felt meaningful to be able to hack on Hive while doing my education. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. So Warcraft 3, Blizzard graced us with alternative languages. I guess like 2.5 years ago. They added Lua, and now you can
Mhm.
do TypeScript and all that fun stuff. And I know yes, 2 days ago you
2
did
days
like
ago,
a
yeah.
workshop, right? For
I
TypeScript.
yeah, I was teaching Ash of Hive Workshop to code in TypeScript, or struggling to teach him, and he was struggling to learn. Yeah, yeah, it was fun, and a lot of Hive the core helped when I was struggling to know what to do. It was good fun. We plan to do more of that, and maybe one day we'll actually finish his map. Who knows? But I think it could be helpful for people who want to get into it and think it's overwhelming to see two people sit there 2.5 hours and ending up writing like 50 lines of code max. So that can't be super overwhelming in that pace, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Um, do you so TypeScript is your preferred? Well, I guess JAS is probably. What is your preferred mapping language at this point?
A little disclaimer: when I did this thing with Jazz, with Ash, Jash, the last time I actually touched Warcraft modding was like 10 years ago, because I've been spending all my time making the site better.
I see.
So I haven't dabbled much in it really. I'm not that up to date of a modder, unfortunately. I kind of want to get back, especially now with all the new cool tools in Reforged.
You just enable
Um,
the modders.
yeah, yeah, I do, but I also kind of want to be in there with them, if that makes sense. with TypeScript, it makes a lot of sense to me because in my day job, I write TypeScript all day. Both you can use it both server side, client side when you are using a Node.js and a web browser, of course. So yeah, so that's why I wanted Ash to learn TypeScript, because then it will be worth his while, despite whether or not his map will be a failure, because he will learn a lot.
Yeah. I think that's a huge plus about them introducing those alternate languages, is you can actually learn to use a language that you can use outside of Warcraft 3.
Yeah, I mean, you could theoretically also make TypeScript to Jazz, so somebody could have done it years ago. But TypeScript is somewhat recent, and there were tools already to compile it to Lua. Somebody just needed to write the definitions, so it's easy to work with.
So do you have any plans? What's your first map back after a decade gonna be? You have any kind of cool ideas?
Oh man,
Is it gonna be in Reforged graphics?
I have an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, but have you ever watched the movie Hypercube?
Sorry, what movie?
Hypercube. Cube
Hypercube. I
squared
have
or
not.
No, it's really weird. I kind of want to replicate that. There, people will go through. The essence is that people go through these rooms, and there are doors all around them, and each room looks the same, but there is something different. I was thinking that I would have in programming, you would call it a stack. I would have a stack of what rooms you passed. So this room gave you this buff. Maybe you would look at things reversed, or when you move around, you would move in the opposite direction. And some rooms would have challenges, and I don't know. It just sounds interesting to fuck people up more and more through the various rooms they go through, and some rooms would lead to more rooms that just make it worse and worse and a dead end. But that map is probably not what I want to talk about today.
We're here to talk about Warhammer 40k TD 2.
Yes, I'm here to push Warhammer 40k TD. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So,
how did you get into Warcraft 3? Like, when did you get the copy? Why did you decide to even get into the world editor?
I actually don't remember.
It was a while ago.
But yeah.
I think Ruterra has Warcraft, the date pinpointed.
Oh yeah, that man. Yeah. I got into I think I started playing Melee over LAN with my cousins. They sort of taught me Warcraft, I guess. I don't know when I started dabbling in the editor, but the editor was just there, and a bored kid clicks any exe they can find, and suddenly they're in a map editor. But I think my map really started with my friend David, who I played. He's a Canadian, actually. I played a lot of Warcraft 3 with him, and he was like, "We gotta make a map," and we love tower defenses, so we made Warhammer 40,000 TD. I've never really played Warhammer. I don't know anything about Warhammer, but he did, and I just wanted to code a map. So it was a good teamwork there. He later faded out a little bit, and I started the site. He never really visited it much, and then I just never looked back and worked on the site more and more. Back in the day, we started Hiveworkshop with a free forum. I think they were called free forums, actually. And soon we moved to PHP, later vBulletin, which is where Hive really grew. I've spent too much time in vBulletin, so much time that Hive became very insecure software-wise, and we really had to move. But it takes time to port all these features we have. I don't remember how we started. I started in 12 and moved in 16. It took me 4 years to rewrite the site and move to Zen 401. And then in 2016, I think they moved. No, 2017 they released Send 402, which was a rewrite of the entire forum system, which meant I had to rewrite the whole site once more, which is what I'm still working on. Which is what we announced in December 28th of last year. Hive 3 removed.
Is that removed? Okay.
Yeah, that's removed.
So what is removed? What
Well, technically, or you want to know what the name is?
I want to know what the name is, but also technically.
Okay. Well, technically, it's just Send 402 with all our features ported, but it's boring to just port features. Many things people really didn't like in the old site, so I made those parts better. And just a lot of niceties. Yeah. So removed is, of course, a pun on Reforged. But the word Reforged is unfortunately a little bit of a swear word these days, and I wanted a good connotation with my next version of the site, which was ready when I launched it. Sorry Blizzard, sorry team. And I know you didn't think it was ready too. So Remoosed is Moose is one of my nicknames. My real name is Rasmus, and one of the old guys from Hive called Wolverabbit. I talked a lot of in voice chat with him, and he called me Moose because Rasmus, and that's kind of where I got that nickname. And Remoosed just sounded funny, and I started calling it that. And Arkian and the Mythic, who make graphics, they ran with it and made a big nice banner for me where it says removed. So I was really happy for my joke to be on the news. Yeah. So removed is ready. I mean, people go test it. It's very, very soon becoming Hive, and the old version is gonna be gone. It's important.
Oh no.
I am moving.
Just like Blizzard.
To move it. Yeah. I'm removing Classic Hive.
I'm gonna try to pull it up
next week on Friday. I'm hoping to move Hive to removed. So if you are afraid there will be bugs, you have to find them before next Friday. And if you don't, it's your fault.
That's pretty soon. This is the kill switch.
I've just been looking for the right date and being ready for it. I had another date which I canceled. Nobody really knows that, but it's ready.
All right.
You can go to beta.hiveworkshop.com and test it out. Oh man, I was scratching my eye right when you were showing the other thing.
All right, we'll get a very scuffed version of checking this out.
Yeah.
Put it between both of us.
So now we are going into a session of 1 hour where you and I will test all new features.
Oh boy. Yeah, so it's got the nice reforged UI feel, cool stuff on the right, top maps.
Yeah, that's actually a feature that we had in the old days, but haven't had for years. The sidebar widget of recent or top things.
Awesome. Can we are we gonna see a new mascot? Are we gonna have like a cartoon moose? The Hive.
Oh. I mean,
a reforged moose where the footprints don't show up, and you have to get Blizzard to fix that.
I mean, I did make a pun on Blizzard's behalf, but I don't think it's healthy to ingrain it in the community that we're making fun of Blizzard. Regardless of how much they deserve it or don't. But I mean, we did get a logo in 2016 or something. Maybe it's time for a mascot. Or can you Can you go in the thinking box and think about that? I know you're watching. Oh, and hi, Mom. Uh, so yeah, that's Remost. I'm hoping it will be good. I think it'll be good. It has to be good.
Has to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should talk a little bit about Reforged then.
Ah, yes, Reforged. Good segue.
I mean, it's not a BladeMasterRUSH show unless you address Reforged in some way or form.
Yeah. Man, poor Blizzard. Poor Blizzard. Well, so when did you first learn about Reforged? When was the date that you, of course, have imprinted into your mind?
I mean, I have something I can't show you, but I have something. I'll just go in Discord and see when I sent this. No, I don't want to scroll back while on stream. That was a bad decision. In 16, 17, thereabouts, I knew about it. I didn't know the name. I know they were setting up a development team. Arkin and I actually had a phone meeting with Pete Stillwell, and we're really excited, and he was really excited about it too. And it was very exciting to be behind the scenes. Finally, there's a sign that they know we exist. Kind of like with Planet Earth and aliens, that there's life on the other end. Because we've always like strived to be acknowledged by Blizzard in some way. They had these fan sites or something that you could become one back in the day. It's a really old thing. I don't think they have something like that anymore. But we really wanted to be the official something modding community, right? That would be cool. And later, Cam from Hiveworkshop was hired by Blizzard. They actually had a lot of us. They invited a lot of us on, what do we call it, on premise, into their office. They invited me as well, but they only wanted to pay for a continental ticket. That means as soon as I get to the United States, they'll make sure to pay my ticket. So that was kind of a no-go. I don't have the money to throw at that. And I sort of felt that, I mean, not that I'm super important, but I still think they should pay my ticket the whole way if they really wanted to see me and hear what I have to say. So I didn't go, but a lot of Hive members did. Perch and Fire, I think, and Cam, and a bunch of other names I actually don't remember completely. I really wanted to go. I was about to buy a monkey ticket to go there with a 30-hour trip, but I didn't. It was too much. Things slowly escalated, and I got a sense that the team grew. I was in touch with other people. I was helping the development team with, for example, I sent all Jazz scripts of all maps on Hive. I sent like 200 gigabytes of War3 map.j files to them so they could scan them for whatever features they might be breaking or something like that. I was gonna do anything to help because that would be cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how I saw it starting. And then I don't know the timeline really, but the Reforged was announced, and I know that none of the development team knew the deadline on BlizzCon. I mean, they weren't asked, they weren't told in advance when their game they were working on was launched. And I mean, they had a very ambitious plan. They needed to move through. You know what they wanted to do. They wanted to do a lot of things, and suddenly they were just. It's almost as if the carpet below them was just pulled
Yeah,
out
it
under
seems
them
that
because
way.
they yeah. I mean, none of them were happy with what they were releasing. They knew what was going to happen, and they couldn't do anything because they didn't make the calls. So I mean, a lot of the dev team have been getting a lot of grief because they were the only people that community members saw. It's like shooting the messenger because you can't really blame it on them. Really, it's not. That's my opinion anyway. You can't really blame them when they. I mean, if they voted on when to release, they would have released a game that worked and was really good. But I guess when every company becomes a stock traded company, things are really hard to stay good. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It was rough. I mean, people were savage, dude. I mean, I guess the internet is savage, but yeah, it was like when it released. I mean, there was like the whole .5 review, meme or whatever.
Yeah, the
But
Metacritic one.
streams for sure just became like everyone was just like to this day still people are just like Reforged sucks and like
Yeah.
you can ask Todd
Yeah,
or
and
the big streamers. It's like they have to have a command to be like, oh yeah, like forged graphics, whatever.
can we just make an agreement now that it goes without saying, and we just make the best of it? Because it's almost people talk poorly about it without even thinking these days. I think we all none of us are completely satisfied. We are all disappointed. Yes, we are. But still, I mean, I've sort of started dialogues with people on Hive who are angry about Reforged, still posting angry messages. Somebody asks about something. How do you do it in Reforged? Oh, you just delete Reforged. Is that helpful? Are you helping this person, or are you just letting your rage spill out anywhere you go? It's not really. I mean, people who are this angry, they're angry because they care, and if they care, then stop trying to ruin our community by posting angry messages. We know we are all disappointed.
Yeah, I
Can
totally
you let
agree.
it go? Yeah, so it's just Blizzard isn't reading. The people who are reading your angry messages are your peers who want to have a fun and joyful stay on Hiveworkshop or other Warcraft communities. And I heard your interview with Neo from Back to Warcraft, and he said that for like a full year, every time Blizzard posted anything, he posted something angry, and then somebody told him, "Look at the good parts," and he was like, "Well, I didn't really. It didn't have any. There wasn't any good outcome of posting angry messages. I mean, he was basically burying or digging his own grave by making more people leave than already had left. So I think he made a good choice when he stopped being so angry about it.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
yeah, and it's not all bad. I mean, modding is pretty good actually. You have custom UI, which allows you to do. I mean, if you have seen Trigger Happy's map, that's the one I have fresh in memory. He made an inventory system and
Yeah.
all sorts of dialogues. It's really impressive. And yeah,
I mean, right
were you saying
before
something?
Reforged, they added a lot of features. 24 players. I think they like fixed some resolution issues. All sorts of fun things. Just get swept under the rug because Reforged graphics. UI natives. Lua.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. So, yeah. Um,
I'm banking on Reterra's War Smash. I think that's our last hope here.
I think War Smash is really cool, and if anybody can pull through, it'll definitely be Reterra. He's pretty cool. I mean, I really love these big projects because Hive Workshop is a big project for me. I've had it for half of my life, more or less. So I like when people go long, if that makes sense. So I am supporting Redora, as he pronounced it. All I can. I'm offering him project hosting on Hive Workshop if he wants that, and I'm moving his random spurs of activity where he mentions Warsmash into the Warsmash thread because what do you call it? They belong there, but they also they deserve their own space than just random threads around Hive. Yeah, I mean Warsmash is very cool. I just wish it wasn't written in Java.
Yeah, I think he said, someone else is welcome to.
Yeah, I know.
Rewrite it and whatever.
Of course, but it'll be good. I mean, who cares if it's written in Java if it works? And I think it'll work. But it has to be like. I mean, it'll be hard to make it compatible with all maps. It'll be a battle to make it work in the same way, but it's fun. I will see it to the hopeful good end of Warsmash release.
Yeah. It's impressive. I mean, just like the videos he's shown, like very close to Warcraft 3.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Minus X and Y.
People or himself are a little worried sometimes about the ethics. And I think as long as you have the MPQs from real Warcraft and brought them yourself, you're pretty safe. There's a project for Diablo 1 called Devolution where people actually decompiled the original game. And that's open source on GitHub and has been there for years. So the only difference between that and Warsmash is that Blizzard recently poured a lot of money into Warcraft. So, I mean, maybe they're more protective of it. But other than that, Warsmash is not even a decompilation. It's a separate rewrite. And then even in Java, so you can't even tell that he would have decompiled Warcraft. So maybe that's why he chose that language. So nobody can blame him for having decompiled it and reused it. Yeah.
Are there any members of Hive that have been around since 2004, 2005?
Do you remember it, or
no, are there any that you know of? Are there any ancient Hive
members?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just curious.
I mean, there's General Frank, who is a modeler with hundreds and hundreds of models, and he's a model moderator. He's been there forever. He goes very far back. Hi.
Can I have my iPad?
Yeah, 1 second. The Hive merch. Okay, yeah, General Frank is an oldie. Arkian is an oldie. Arkian has been helping me staffing the site as well for almost ever. I don't know. Many people go 10 years back. I can't name all of them, and I probably named way too few. But I mean, back to Reforged a little bit. I mean, if Blizzard were to make the game a little bit unhappy, it's better to do it when those of us who grew up with it are grown up now and can really hack the game, because we have so much more power than when we grew up with this game. Than what did I say? We have so much more power now than when we grew up with this game. So we care so much about the game that we can do whatever we want. Warcraft 3 Champions is probably a good example. I'm sure those guys grew up with that game as well and are pro hackers now. we all are in some respect. So it's hard for them to ruin our fun now because we can all just change it if we want to.
Everything
Yeah.
besides public sentiment. The only thing we can't change yet.
Public sentiment, is that the
Against
feedback?
Re-reforged. Yeah,
Yeah. 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 I mean, I'm trying a little bit. That's also why I came on here. I want to tell people to look at the good parts, because the only ones reading your biles are people who want to keep on modding Warcraft. Otherwise, they aren't here. So keep it in if you can. I mean, it's fine to be disappointed. It's fine to be sad. It's also fine to be angry. I just think people should think about what they message, and if the goal is to make other people sad too, then maybe not do it. Yeah. And with Reforged, I've also been told that activity is actually up in Warcraft. I don't really have any numbers on my own for that, but it's easier to find a custom game in Battle.net and actually play. I think that might also have to be because you don't have to port forward and do all that magic to actually host the map. It's so much easier now where it just uploads the map to the server and the server hosts.
Yeah, I mean that's a big positive that they added like right before Reforged.
Yeah, and it led to a lot of death threats as well because the host bots couldn't work with it. So I heard that some guy actually left the company soon after because he just couldn't take all the negativity. Honestly, people doxing him and sending him death threats, really? I mean, no matter how much you care about this game, you don't send people death threats. Come on. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little extreme.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think I'm pretty positive about Warcraft. There are some really cool projects, and you already interviewed Shady HD and Insane Monster with their both two new hosted projects on Hiveworkshop.
Yeah,
Did
I
I say
mean,
Walkthrough Champions, or did I say Re-reforged? Oh, I just said the names. Never mind. Re-reforged and Chronicles of the Second War, new hosted projects on Hive. Both which are HD graphics. Because I mean, you can argue that you don't like the style of the HD models in Warcraft, but you can also make your own HD models now and make something really, really cool. So I mean, for modding, HD is pretty cool, I think. If you actually have the time to make what these guys are making, which is just amazing.
I'm definitely looking forward to projects like Chronicles and Re-reforged in how they might be able to kind of show people that Reforged graphics aren't evil, and you know, you can make a map or you can work on a project with Reforged graphics, you know, if you have a ton of time to spend XYZ. But still, I mean, at least there's like a positive outcome.
Yeah.
Kind of motivated me to try to be like, oh, maybe I'll make a custom campaign or single map in Reforged. Sounds fun.
Yeah. I mean, one of the downsides is that people who never bought Reforged can't play in your HD map. I mean, it's understandable. It's not. I wouldn't say it's Blizzard's fault or anything. It's just it reduces the amount of people who can enjoy it, right? So single player campaigns and stuff makes more sense, I think. Yeah, and before I forget, Hiveworkshop would be nothing if not for its staff and its members. Otherwise, it would just be a very boring but cool forum with nothing in it, no reason to visit. So thank you to the staff and thank you to the members, to all of you. It's really fun to work on this site because you are here. If you weren't, it would just seem even more meaningless. or it would seem meaningless. It doesn't seem meaningless to me at all. It seems more meaningful to me than working on my actual job. So it would be cool actually to one day move to working on Hive full time or half time or whatever. Just a little time. Yeah. So thank you everyone. I am so grateful that you actually visit my site, and to some of you who have visited it almost forever. Yeah.
Shout out to the
Where are
people
we
who
on?
make models and all that.
Yeah, to everyone.
I love that
It's
model section.
so
It's eye candy.
yeah, the models and maps is definitely the two biggest sections on Hive, at least according to the stats. They're good sections. That's also why on the next version of the site we are bringing back these big buttons to highlight the content. On the current Hive, there's a maps and resources button, which is a drop down where you can go, but a lot of people probably go to Hive just to go to the map section, so why not make it a huge round button? That'll be good. Can't wait to throw away the old code. It's so annoying
So
to
there's
have
only
two code bases.
6 days left, right?
I hope so. Unless Joe or Jack find a breaking bug, or a Pete or John. Yeah. What else do we have to talk about, Mr. Rush?
Well, I know you wanted to talk about Hive being hacked. You said you commented that that's a fun story.
Yeah. I alluded to us running vBulletin earlier, and we were using a very old version of vBulletin. Upgrading would mean rewriting a lot of stuff, and then the later versions of vBulletin after version 3 was just bloated, shitty software. So we were running something old, and we were running an old plugin, and I don't really remember what the symptom was. Yeah. And actually, very, very old admin called GAN04 messaged me that the server was using all the bandwidth outward. Not typically anything, but it was just really pushing the bandwidth, doing something weird in a weird process that he didn't know. He had access to the server. And I connected to my server and had a look, and there were a lot of things I hadn't put there. A log of somebody trying to crack the root password and other fun stuff. I don't remember if there was put anything weird on the site. I mean, normal users couldn't see on the site that something was wrong. It was like a cloak and dagger sort of operation. But I found in a file that there was a server name and a port, and it was a botnet kind of thing. Bots typically connect to an IRC channel to receive commands. So I put that into my IRC client and connected to the botnet's IRC server, and just lurked there and saw a lot of similarly named chat people in that chat server. There weren't any chats going on, but yeah, there were some kind of weird coded messages. They said some kind of message that meant they were logged on or logged off. I mean, when you turn on a computer, it would connect to the botnet. When you turn it off, it leaves the botnet. And I think I right-click the only guy without that weird code name to get his info, and that probably sent a message to the server that blew my cover. So we started chatting, I complimented him on his herd of bots, and he was a really weird guy. He was very religious, trying to justify that he was actually fixing bugs on these servers, but also using them for fun, right? He seemed like a really complicated person who didn't want himself to believe that what he did was actually wrong. Anyway, I chatted with him for some time, and meanwhile I chatted with him. I tried to figure out what was wrong. I knew it was a web request that connected to Hiveworkshop somehow and did something somehow. I had a lot of add-ons on the forum, so I didn't know what add-on or what thing was broken. But I knew a symptom of when it had happened, something was changed. So I made it so every single request on the site was logged with the full post body. When you upload a file or send or post a message or something, it has a body of the text you are sending, right? So I was logging all of that with timestamps, and then every second I was checking, is the site hacked yet? And then I correlated those two logs and found the request that caused the hack to occur, and I updated my software so it couldn't happen again. Because actually this took multiple days, and it was super stressful because every time I went to sleep, I would wake up and find the site being hacked and weird stuff on the server, and I was just struggling to figure out how to get this guy out. It seemed very automated. He had nothing to do with people on Hive or anything. It was just targeting this broken old add-on we were using. But it took like 4 days of really bad sleep and a lot of stress getting this guy out. And I chatted with him on his IRC server. That was a very interesting, weird experience.
To fight off a religious hacker, a zealot.
It felt like in the movies where you fight them off, because I would find him in there and I would like kick him out, and next day I would find him again and kick him out until I found the bug he was abusing, of course. But it was so back and forth, right?
I love that you just
really,
like struck up conversation with him. Like, hey, are you hacking me?
I have the transcript if you want to read it.
You should definitely publish that somewhere.
It's on my paste bins, I think. It was fun. I mean, it was fun and scary, and Hive is my baby, so those things suck when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Stalker's the worst for sure. Sounds like a...
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it was scary.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. What are your go-to customs? You open up Warcraft 3, join a custom lobby. What are you playing?
Oh, battle tanks.
Battle tanks.
Battle tanks, battle tanks, battle tanks. It's a good map. Battle tanks and power towers. They are my guilty pleasures. Power towers seems kind of broken and reforged, though. I have been thinking about trying to make it work. Actually, on Hiveworkshop, we have I have started a debate about whether we should allow the discussion of deprotection of maps, which is kind of a conflicting thing, because on one end people want to protect their map, but on the other end, as somebody says it, when they lose the original, they want help deprotecting the protected version. But it's also because a lot of protected maps are broken now, and they can be fixed. And by not allowing talking about protection of maps, we are sort of making it harder to make the custom scene better. So the thought is that we allow discussion and sharing of tools and helping each other, but As long as there's no real permission, maybe you shouldn't post the deprotected version so anybody can get it. We're still fleshing out the details on that, but I think it's a good move. It's also weird to have a completely prohibited topic that's related to modding, but the idea has always just been to protect the owners. But we are already doing that by not allowing people to submit other people's maps with cheats or anything on Hive, at least. I mean, we can't really help what people do in other places, but we can also pretend they don't exist, the other places, and just do what we think is best.
Yeah, map protection is definitely a tricky subject because it's like on the one hand, Blizzard owns the maps, so I mean you have no rights. But on the other hand, the same statement. But I mean, like people want to.
Well, Blizzard didn't invent map protection, did they?
Yeah.
And
Vexorian
I
did.
wouldn't say. I mean, somebody once told me, actually, that was William who worked for Blizzard, that if you take a Linkin Park song and put it in your map, does it belong to Blizzard? No, it doesn't. So I mean, there must be some kind of protection there. You can't, if you wrote the map script, it doesn't belong to Blizzard. Blizzard owns the tools, but they can't own your script. I mean, if you put a license on your script, the world editor doesn't strip that license. So I don't think it is as onerous as people make it out to be.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really gotten into maybe like really deep levels of protection, but I always saw it as just a very thin barrier to like stop people from like just kind of messing with things and like releasing a version with cheats with the same exact name. It just like if you want to break in, like you're gonna be able to figure it out. But
yeah. And people can always add cheats because that doesn't require you to actually read the existing script. We want to allow people to continue development of existing cool projects if the owner isn't around to do it. So maybe we should have a rule specifically about just because you can take this map and maybe have some kind of permission because the owner can't be reached, we still expect you to respect it and or change the title completely because then you can do whatever you want, right? I still think it's good to tell people to change the title so people know this is the original, this is that guy's version of it. With Warhammer, somebody once submitted a much newer version of my map. That was really annoying. And the only way I could counter it was by increasing my version number to above his. But I mean, that sucks. You want some kind of protection or at least have people change the name so you can branch off from that version.
I mean, if people are sending death threats over host bots, there are definitely people out there just like taking maps, like doing weird stuff, incrementing the number by one.
Yeah, that was really annoying. I don't know if they added cheats or something, that it didn't look that different.
What do you think about Castle Fight?
I have played it once in the fun maps a few weeks ago. I was really bad at it. I like the idea of it, but I suck at it really bad. If you promised you would be in the fun maps last time, but you didn't show up. You were streaming.
Yeah, I messed up. Time zone conversions.
Yeah.
Not great at them.
Yeah. You would find out that I suck at pretty much anything I play. So, battle tanks and power towers are fun, but I also kind of suck at those. I'm too much of a coder. I don't have much time to work on the site, and I have big projects with the site. I have maybe 1 hour, 2 hour at best, not even every night. That's also why I want people to test the removed, because if I release it on Friday, I know how much time I'll have Saturday to fix anything people find, and it could be a multi-day project to fix it. So I hope to find most things before release. because my time is so limited. I have 2 kids that take up my time after work until 8, and then I have a wife who expects some nights with me at least, and I also have friends. I have some game nights with friends that takes up some time. Yeah, so, and I also have a really cheap house that
Gotta
requires
fix
a lot
up.
of attention. Yeah. I mean, ever since I bought this house, I have found out that I like modding on houses too. So that's fun. Yeah, so I spend the time as best I can on this. It's what I want to do the most, but I don't have much time.
I mean, at this rate, you're probably gonna live for hundreds of years, so you don't have to worry about that time. I mean, you look, you don't look like you have 2 kids. You look quite young. Are you a vampire?
Well, I'm 31. It's just about starting early.
Just about soon. Fair enough.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay,
Do I
so
look
so
26?
about around next year you'll just start popping out kids, and you'll be like me in 5 years.
Oh man, I don't know. I hope not. That would be that would be really sudden. I'd have to get married within or worse.
Oh, I mean, depending on your religion, you don't have to get married though.
I mean,
You
that's
can
true.
skip that if you
I could
you
just
need to save
reproduce
time.
recklessly. Not that if you have a child out of marriage, you're reproducing recklessly. But
No, you said it. You said it just then. I'll make a short clip of you
Shit.
saying that. Yeah. I don't know what else we have to talk about. Do you have any questions?
Oh yeah, yeah, we can also ask the stream. We can do Q&A.
Yeah. I'm all up for it.
Do you have any favorite movies? Do you like movies?
Get Hard with Will Ferrell. That's probably one of my favorites. It's the movie I watch when I'm in a bad mood. I also really like The Martian. Again, that's probably because it's a multi-year project of getting home. I'm a sucker for that kind of movie where people have engineering and projects they that is taking way too much of their life, quite literally in The Martian at least.
I'll have to watch. I don't think I've seen The Martian. I'm pretty sure I've seen Get Hard.
Yeah, it's really funny.
All right, awesome.
I also listen to a lot of podcasts. If you're into that sort of thing,
I gotta
I
listen to
listen
more
to,
podcasts.
if you are an Uber nerd like me, maybe you like Security Now. I've listened to it for 10 plus years. It's where I get my news about things I need to update on the server so I don't get hacked.
Interesting.
They have more than 800 episodes, which makes for more than 50 full days of listening, and I have listened to it all. So
Wow.
I'm a big fan. I'm also mentioned in the podcast, by the way, multiple times because I helped Steve with some Zen4 development. That's the forum we use on Hive, if you don't remember.
Damn, that's awesome.
So, yeah. But other than that, I sit here doing my work week. I for about a month ago, I started being always on Discord while at work. Don't tell my boss. It's just a good way to be part of the community, even though I'm super busy with other things. Because when I'm at work, I'm actually by a computer. I always work remotely, so nobody can look over my shoulder. I guess that's the argument. But I mean, I'm getting good work done anyway, most of the time at least. And yeah.
Okay, cool. So, what projects are you working on outside of Hive, if any? Asks Gizmo with an S.
Well, there's the house. Right now, I'm renovating one of the children's rooms with like redoing the walls. Um, and it's spring now, so I have to tear down the house overhang and redo that. I've done it on half of the house and the whole garage, and now I'm doing the rest of the house. I have other rooms in the queue I need to redo. It was actually a really bad timing in 2017 when Zen 402 came out, and I realized I had to redo everything. We just moved into this house, and there were so many things I had to do. So balancing time between those two time suckers was kind of hard. I also kind of want to do some woodworking. I have a lot of the tools. I have a huge table saw I collected a year back. Other projects? I'm actually making a meditation app with a friend who used to be he's a semi well-known rapper in Denmark. I'm making a meditation app with him. So that's one project.
He's a rapper.
He used to be a rapper, yeah. But now
He's-
I mean, you
That's
gotta do what
awesome.
you gotta do, right? Yeah.
You gotta make a meditation app. Absolutely.
Yeah. What else? What else?
How big of a
I
table
have-
saw? Is it like a real?
We
Can
need-
take
we
off your
need- We had to
finger.
be. Any table saw can do that.
I mean, take off your arm, I guess.
I mean, it's not like the saw blade is it's like bigger than half a meter or anything. It's like 30 centimeters. That's like 10 inches or something. But it's like really heavy, heavy duty. I had an old one that actually, when you put a piece of wood on it, it would shake, and it would. I mean, it's very dangerous to have a shaking table saw, because if you put something on it, it can move into
Yeah,
the blade.
and that's where like
Um,
the most dangerous part is, I think, it's the kickback. Where it like
yeah, kickback.
it's like
Yeah, I've watched a lot of movies about how to avoid kickback, because
Yeah.
I am so terrified of this table saw. I force myself to use it,
yeah, table
but
saws
it's
are
not
scary.
fun. Yeah. I mean, I want to get into modding, but it's just not happening yet. I have too many things on my plate. I recently, during meetings at work, I recently sorted all my childhood Lego in color. So I kind of want to begin doing something with that. It's a lot of Lego.
Dude, like Star Wars Legos, like if you just had an
Mm-hmm.
unopened set.
Not back then. Not back then. I mean, I've never really been a Star Wars fan anyway. So
Those things are really valuable though. They like
yeah,
They
yeah. I mean,
appreciate
there's this website. There's this website where you can see what other people want to buy this old set for, and I think if I wanted to, I could like collect the sets and just sell them for thousands of dollars if I wanted to.
yeah, it's absurd.
But I also have kids. And they like to play with them. It's just too sad that I don't really want to let them, because they're mine.
Wait, you don't let your kids play with your Legos?
Yeah, I know it sounds very bad. They can play with it in here. It's right over there. Okay, it's mirrored. Okay, it's right over here, and they can play with it in here. But I don't want to get it spread through the whole house, because I don't want to lose bricks. But I mean, one part of me just want to hand it over and let them have fun, because I don't have time to play with it. But on the other hand, it's like, but it's my Lego. It's my Lego.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, people do keep asking about this lumberjack thing. I'm curious. I think there was a question about it way earlier.
Lumberjack, is that the map?
I think so.
That's Ash's map. You gotta go ask Ash about that. I'm just here to help release his dreams, and or realize his dreams. That's probably more correct. So I'm just a tool in his hand.
He's the lumberjack. You're
Yeah,
the
definitely. Once
sharpened
again, I'm
axe.
the coder. Once again, I'm the coder slash teacher, and he has the ideas, right? Like with Warhammer. I don't really know what other projects I might have. Kids are
Oh,
projects, aren't they?
I think so. Well,
Yeah, especially when they're young. I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. They are all over the place, very loud. That's why we had to do the interview at night here in Denmark. I don't know what time it is at you, but
it's 3 p.m. It's the perfect time. I have a bird, and he's really loud in the morning, and this is when he stops shouting like a baby.
What kind of bird is that?
I have a parrot. I have a green cheek conure. He's yelling a little
Okay.
bit.
I grew up with a baraband parakeet. They are not known for getting tame, but this one was pretty tame. He came. My parents are very, what would you say, liberal with their animals, so he could fly around the whole house whenever he wanted to. So he always came when I was eating and shared the meal. And he flew into my bedroom if I forgot to close the door and sat next to my pillow. And sometimes I woke up without knowing he was here there and moving around, and then he got very angry because I almost squished him. So
Oh no.
I know how it is to live with a bird.
Yeah, I love birds. I named him Gromish after Gromish Hellscream. I think
Oh,
he
that's
was a
nice.
chieftain or something.
You need to show me a picture after this.
Yeah, for sure. He's so cute. I love him.
Yeah. I am Arkian, my fellow admin. He messaged me that I should talk about some future features of Hive, because right now we are sort of going the minimum viable product, you could say, because I want all features we currently have, but in the past 3 years I've also got some pretty good ideas. So I'm just looking through here my list. We definitely want to do something more for the hosted projects on Hive. You probably don't even know what the hosted project system is on Hive right now because it's so thin and shallow. We want to make I don't want to say too much, but one of the big round buttons in the top will definitely be projects, and there'll be a full page for Re-reforged and all their and Chronicles of the Second War and Sunken Ruins and all the other projects on Hive. Because what is Hive without all the hosted projects? They bring a lot of value to the site. So we want to do that. What else? Yeah, there are a lot of small features I want to add. I actually am kind of blank. I just wanted to bring it up. Do you have any feature suggestions?
Suggestions. I
Yeah.
only have silly suggestions. I don't know. Yeah, something you could like make the contests. I always thought I enjoy reading the contests.
Yeah.
You could make one of those a button right at the top there.
It is a very forum related thing, and the arena is pretty close to the top, and contests typically get a lot of alerts around on the site and front page. So there is a pretty cool feature, by the way. People will shake their head when they hear I waste your time with this feature. But when you go to the paste bin of the new Hive and you create a paste without a title, it creates a funny title. And I had so much fun inventing these funny titles.
So they're your custom creations.
Yeah. It picks a random verb and a random noun and makes some weird things. People have to try that out for themselves. But I've got a tantalizing Voldemort, among others, as a title for a paste bin entry. Yeah. Any more questions?
Are there some plans to add more code script categories for the new languages that popped up? I guess it's a technical question.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind on Lua. I mean, the code sections are meant to be for what coding you do in Warcraft. We don't mention Lua anywhere right now, but it's not because we refuse to accept the reality that Lua exists. It's just because we are lazy. Also, when you view the triggers of a map, and if it's Lua, it is rendered using syntax highlighting for Jazz. So I gotta fix that as well. There are small things, but definitely want to add support for Lua and of course TypeScript. That goes without saying.
Awesome.
I also kind of want to make a sound section at some point. You should contribute with some sounds.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I think sounds are potentially untapped territory for people to just I don't know. Witty can make some interesting sounds for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a thread that comes about every year on Hive. Why isn't there a sound section? And people say, "Oh, just search," and you will find that I say it's a good idea, just haven't had the time yet. It will be a cool section, and I think it will allow for many non-modders to contribute as well. What else?
Yeah, I would definitely. I think it'd be cool to be a voice actor. I certainly have the mic for it. I might not be good at it. I would try to submit some bandit rip-off lines.
Yeah, you could also apply for the sound moderator role.
Sound moderator role. That sounds scary.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
You can start as a reviewer if you don't dare.
I feel like that'll just prompt like people trolling you by adding, I don't know, the Rick rolls. Yeah, horse sounds.
Rick roll. Baby shark. Yeah, there'll probably be that too. They have been uploading some weird skins to the skin section in the past, if you have any sort of imagination. They didn't wrap nicely, I can tell you that. Yeah. Any more questions?
Let's see. Can we get Hive integrated in World Editor so the drop-down in Unit Editor just downloads Hive models dynamically?
That's actually not a very bad idea. I've talked to Etienne, and we actually have a plan to add that to Hive World Editor at some point. That would be awesome to...
I was going to ask about Hive World Editor.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't make Hive World Editor, and Etienne did, a member of Hive. He made it. It's a really cool thing. He wants to integrate it with the API. He wanted to when I talked to him at some point. Things change, but I'm completely open to add that. I've also talked to Redera about that with his model studio. That would be super cool. I mean, all I want in return is that there's some kind of link back to Hive or sponsored by Hive or anything, and I'm a total sucker for integration if that's the case. That would be super cool. It could automatically add credit to the map description and so on. That would be very nice integration. Yeah.
Once you have your new moose mascot, you can just stamp that everywhere.
Yeah.
Cute little reforged moose.
I mean, now that we have a logo, it's nice to see it everywhere. Like when you on your stream, I saw it on other interviews as well, and we had this streams section some years ago on Hive where you could apply to get your Twitch stream shown on Hive, and you had to put the Hive logo at the bottom of your description with a link to Hive. So Hive links to your stream when you're streaming, and your stream links to Hive. It's nice to see this logo just go everywhere. It feels good.
All right, awesome. Well, if there are no more questions, I don't know if you want to wrap up. I only devolve into silly questions at this point.
Yeah, I'm all for it. If you have silly questions.
Who do you think would win in a fist fight, you or Archeon?
Whew, that's a good one. I think Arkan might have more anger in him, but at the same time, I think it would be hard for him to wanna beat me up. I don't know. Actually, maybe I think maybe Arkan would win. He seems more badass.
Would you ever go to Wolfpack? Do you know what what's it called? Packfest.
Packfest?
It's Saken's circus.
His
now
circus?
I have to explain Packfest.
I am completely oblivious.
Skip that one. Skip that one.
Okay.
A bunch of Warcraft 3 people meet up. I want to go to the next Packfest.
That sounds cool, though.
Oh, are you a weeb? Perfect.
I have no idea what that means.
Good answer. That was the right answer.
I actually once went to Göteborg, or Gothenburg is probably what you call it. It's a city in Sweden, northern Sweden. And I was actually going to some presentation with Steve Gibson from that podcast I mentioned earlier. And I needed a place to crash. So I reached out to an old admin of Hive called Flattermaskin. I have never met him. I didn't know his name. But since he had been admin, I wouldn't be afraid of sleeping on his couch. So I crashed on his couch, and I learned his name when I got there. That was quite an adventure. It's nice to actually. That might actually be the reason why I made Hive. So now I can crash in every city without having to pay anything. That's a really good B&B just for me.
Yeah, every admin there's a hidden like little like 3 size font like I can crash on your couch and with 3 days notice.
Yeah, and with my 2 kids and my wife. Yeah, it's in the contract. So and that part is permanent even if you leave. It's actually also in the user's terms of service when you register on Hive, but many people don't read that.
Wait, what?
I'm joking, of course.
Yeah, who reads terms
It would
of
have been
service?
funny though.
I read your terms of service actually. It was short, I think. It was shorter than I thought.
I didn't write them. It's default with the forum. So you read more of them than I did, probably.
I don't understand this question, but I'm just the messenger. Would you rather fight one Master Heosis sized Seagrin or 10 Seagrin sized Master Heosis?
That's a good question. Oh, I don't know. Maybe one Master Heosis sized Seagrin. I would love that as a pillow, though.
What does that mean? Yeah, I have no idea.
Master Heosis is a quite old member of Hive, and he always posted the Seagrin emoji. You can try it on Hive Discord if you want to.
I see.
And if anybody were to be the mascot, it would probably be Master Heosis. But I don't know if he looks like a cartoon figure in real life, so maybe not.
I hope not. Or I don't know. I guess that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, society is pretty open about being different these days.
perfect question. In 2040, will Hive be focused on SD models or HD models? Reforged future or classic future?
I like to think that Hive is open for any sort of Warcraft modding. I mean, we were actually at some point pushing that maps should work in Reforged, but I went back on that. I don't think it's good to push people over the bridge, if that makes sense.
That's just
it's
how you
better
make them
to-
more angry.
Yeah,
What? I need
mean,
this to play? I didn't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it should be people's own choice what version they want the map to work in. Especially now that, I mean, if Warcraft 3 Reforged was supported and working, I would probably still keep that stance. But now I can't force. I mean, what would I do with custom campaigns? Force them to split their maps so they worked in Reforged? That makes no sense. And if we support custom campaigns, we're forced to support older versions. That's a pretty good argument to allow older versions. There are probably other reasons too.
Yeah, I mean, it was my choice to buy a computer formerly used by NASA, so of course my map isn't reforged.
Formerly used by NASA?
That was a joke.
How did you get? How did that happen?
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
And I mean, space computers are typically really, really old.
Shit.
So if it was,
My joke fell flat.
yeah, completely. I mean, I read Terra talk for like 2 hours. I have no more notes. I have nothing.
Awesome.
So all I have is
That's
your
perfect.
drip feed of questions.
Yeah, I mean, I can ask mad ad lib questions forever.
Mhm.
But you know, don't let me keep you on that one. People do keep asking about Hive shirts, but I do think that Archeon
Yeah.
answered. But if you want to answer, when are the Hive?
Oh, is Archeon in
when
the
can
chat?
I buy a Hive shirt? That's
You want a Hive shirt or a Hive T-shirt?
I prefer
to go with
t-shirts
your suit.
personally.
I mean, to go with your
Oh.
suit.
I mean, if there's a Hive tie, sure.
Is it?
No, like if you guys make a tie, I would buy it, I guess.
Ah,
But that sounds
you actually
expensive.
said you would put a Hive logo on your suit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
fell-
that-
you
I'm
fell
not that handy.
completely short of that.
I don't know how to sew.
Oh, so that's an investment. This suit will forever be with a Hive logo on it. I will commission the sewing if that's the case.
I mean, yeah, I'd do it. I don't care. Yeah, it sounds awesome. I mean, I literally don't do anything in this suit other than sit here and do podcasts and like play Warcraft 3.
Yeah. That's it's really cool. I love that you always wear the suit for those things.
Yeah,
It's
I wear
also
it less
sounds like you
often these
don't
days.
really dare not doing it.
Reforged got me down. I only wear the suit every other day.
How often do you wash it then?
See, that's why I don't wear it all the time because it's expensive
Yeah.
to take it
yeah,
to
I
the
know.
dry cleaner.
Yeah. And COVID times.
Are you thinking about something for broken resources like maps, systems, spells, codes because of Warcraft 3 version? Like a category for each version or tag or something. Partially a suggestion, it seems. So like for I guess older versions.
So like, I mean, for like models, I mean there are models that only work in pre-reforged because they're poorly made, but it would still be nice to let users know they can't use them in reforged. But I think it's especially for maps, it makes sense. You don't want to start a map and realize it breaks half the way through. You I mean, when you look at a map on Hiveworkshop, it actually tells you the recommended game version, which is taken from the world editor version that's stamped inside the map. So I could quite easily make filters for the version, but it will only be a hint because many old maps still work on Reforged, but it would still say it works in 1.21D or something. So it would only be like a hint. But it's a good feature, and Trigger Happy already has it for WC3 maps, so I gotta copy him soon. After Remoosed. My whole life is on standby until after Remoosed.
And you counting down 6 days.
Yeah. Back when I was launching Zen 401, I had a code beard. I think one of my colleagues called it that. I wasn't shaving until I had released the Zen 401 version. It's a good thing because then people can you can actually start telling people about it, about your project, and people bring it up naturally. Why do you have a beard now? Oh, it's because I'm working on this. It's a good conversation starter.
That's funny. I didn't think about that. I'll have to start growing out my beard so that people ask me things, but I have to figure out what the answer is.
Yeah, when your map is launched.
True.
Or you should let your beard grow out until everything in Reforged is fixed.
Yeah, that'd be a long time. I don't know. Damn it. I hope
we
it's
don't
not a
know
long
if it's
time.
going to be fixed ever. But
They did confirm news. If you didn't know, they did confirm that somebody's working on it. Oh, there was an interview recently. 2 thumbs up.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I can say more than that.
Yeah.
I know.
Good. So he knows too.
Yeah.
But there's some like text article where somebody born, I don't know his name, was like, yeah, we have a couple people working on it, and I was like, sick. 6 months, we're gonna see something. I don't know what.
Something, yes. Yeah, I mean, I if there's any sort of recommendation, I would just tell people to not expect anything now at this point, and just be happy with what you've got, or be unhappy and quiet.
Yeah,
because everybody's disappointed.
I think the game is fairly stable, so I'm not. It's like,
yeah,
you know, I personally don't think it's worse than pre-reforged, other than maybe a few things, but. Like, it's not like when it came out, it was crashing all the time and stuff. That was a nightmare.
It's not worse for me. I mean, if you want to play melee on Battle.net, maybe that's a bad experience. I don't know. But there is Warcraft 3 champions, and I'm sure your viewers know that.
Yeah, I'm really into Warcraft 3 champions.
Pretty good ladder. We are trying to actually get some kind of partnership with them. It would be cool to be the map supplier for custom maps, or somehow be involved. That would be nice. I just want this Hive logo more places, you know. Maybe somewhere in the top of their website. That would be cool.
All you have to do is fund their servers for a year. That's how Back to Warcraft's logos on every game.
Are they doing that?
Yeah, so what happened was, do you know how they have like the flow servers? So basically, what they did, which is like super epic moment, is super epic gamer moment. They have their own servers, so they basically, guess rent or however it works. They bought servers in all these different places, and when you queue up for Warcraft 3 Champions, it chooses a server that's best between the two people. And Back to Warcraft paid for all their servers for a year, which is a pretty dope move by them. So their logo is literally everywhere.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's very cool. People should sponsor Hiveworkshop as well. I think they should sponsor my wage for a year, and then I'll just quit my job. and
Yeah.
work on Hive. That would be really cool. I mean,
Yes.
it could be a lower wage. I'm willing to work for rice and soy sauce if I get to work on this project instead of work.
This is like the ASL, like looking for sponsorship. Male 31 Raleigh. We'll create modding site for ramen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
All right, awesome. I don't know. Maybe this is exactly an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Good time
Is
to
it?
wrap up.
Oh yeah, we started late. Yeah, we
Oh,
were late.
we were only 1 minute late. To be fair, it was like 2 minutes. All right, hold
Yeah.
up. I think that's Gizmo with an S.
Yeah, Gizmo.
He donated, and the message needs to be read. Sorry that it didn't show up. In a previous interview, I had notifications on, and people got really upset about it. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's fair. So I don't turn them on anymore.
Oh, but Gizmo donated in the wrong place. He has to go to Hive Workshop, and in the top there's a little gold gift.
Yeah, you gave.
That's how you donate.
Sorry, I can't read it. You gave it to the wrong person.
Yeah, I can't read it. Sorry.
Holy shit, yo! Thank you, dude. Oh my god. He gave I joined the Hive in 2011 when I was 14. Now 10 years later, I have a job and I owe it entirely to the Hive's resources and the community around it. Thank you for keeping it afloat. You probably did donate it to the wrong person. I just stole your.
Really?
I just stole your heartfelt.
Oh, but then after the show, I'm sure you will go to Hive Workshop and click the gift icon.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
No, it's your. I don't want to push.
I'll split
you
it with you.
that,
It's 50-50. This is where you negotiate down. 60-40. 55-45.
Yeah. I'll take you all. Take it all. I'll ban you from Hive Workshop. How about that?
All right, you got me.
And you'll pay the fees, the PayPal fees as well.
Yeah.
No, you figure that out with Gizmo. I wouldn't know. But there was a message. You should read it out. And no, you read it out. Never mind.
Yeah. The point of the message was thank you for keeping it afloat, Raleigh.
Yeah. I mean, thanks to everyone who makes it fun to keep afloat. It wouldn't make much sense to me if nobody visited it.
Awesome. Yeah. There is one last good question because I'm curious, but I understand if you don't want to answer. What is your work?
I'm a web developer. Weird, right?
Yeah, very strange.
I work I work on a small project that isn't really released. It's kind of secret, but it's called HSM Cloud. And you can try to find it. It's a very big web development project with tens of thousands of lines of TypeScript just on the front end. It's a big mess of spaghetti, but it's getting kind of cool. Hive Workshop almost seems simple at the end of the day working on that. And then I, after so many years of working in this company, I finally, in COVID times, got permission to work from home permanently. So I haven't been to work more than 1 or 2 times this year. So I'm just always in my cheap house.
That's why you can be on Discord 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, I would be on Discord if I came to work too. I don't want to work in a place where I can't do other things than work during work. Because, I mean, I work on Hive while being on Discord. It's a natural part of being at my computer. It's what works for me. So if somebody challenged that, I would counter it. I'm not afraid of being on Discord. So, and if they don't understand, then that's not where I should work anymore. Simple as that.
Cool. I think is Lesson D Archeon?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Arkin. Is he in the Twitch chat
Yeah, he said, "Who do you think
bossing people
I should
around?
interview next?"
Who I think you should interview next?
Yeah.
I think it's a trick question. I think I have to say Arkin. But other than that, it would be cool if you could get one of the Blizzard devs on, but
I think
I
they're not
think
allowed to talk
it's-
about it.
it's wise of them to not go on, because what's in it for them, really?
Yeah.
The spotlight, and it's better to have their friends go on and defend them.
I don't know. I think they like sign NDAs and stuff too. I don't know. Maybe not.
I have too.
Yeah. But you can't talk about things, right? So I
mean,
guess they probably couldn't either.
At this point, most of what I can talk about is between friends. You know, friendship DNA, NDAs,
Mm.
unofficial NDAs.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah. We had this. I know you asked me about it because somebody had told you that it existed. We have this Discord. In the early times, we had a Discord of Blizzard employees and Hive members who had signed NDAs, where we interacted back and forth. And I think there was a story about somebody rage quitting that. Somebody called Neo, but he was polite about it. It was fine. I understand he was frustrated because at some point communication kind of stopped, but it made sense. I think they were pushed beyond their limit to release a game within a year. Having time to talk about what would be cool to add was kind of beside the point of just actually making this game work. So
on a perfect note, everyone watching, they already know they don't need to worry, because even as long as Blizzard doesn't remove or break the game, people like Ralle and I guess yourself, you sitting at home, will keep the game alive. Shout out Hiveworkshop. Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
if they broke...
There you go.
Thank you. Actually, if they broke Re-reforged, it would be less segmentation, right? Because then people were forced to play an older version on some kind of custom private server. Not that I don't want that. Not that I want that to happen, because the new modding features are awesome. But I mean, Warcraft would exist no matter what they do, I think. And there is also China, who has their own kind of version.
This is a whole thing. This is a whole nother thing. NetEase is huge, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're coming for you. They, I'm actually being contacted by them, and they seem to want to know how modding in the West works.
I don't know who I talked to about this, but I remember somebody saying like that the UI natives, like Blizzard gave no like instructions on how to use them, and somebody was basically like, it seemed like they ripped them from NetEase or something.
Yeah, they're inspired by what they had in NetEase.
Yeah, I thought that was...
I don't think they were ripped. They are similar, but they aren't ripped. They were working with... I mean, NetEase is practically Blizzard China at this point, I think. They were working together across nations on Reforged. I don't know if they have the source code, though. I think they have something in that regard. So if anything, China will save us, right? For better or worse. Yeah, I have nothing. If you have no more
Awesome.
questions, if you have no more questions, we can wait in silence 16 more minutes or whatever to beat Redora.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that would be really awkward and difficult to sit in silence for 16 minutes. I don't think I could do it. I think I'd crack under pressure. But it's an interesting trust exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll never beat Witty. Is the if you have a personal dedication to beating Redora, then I can read poetry for 16 minutes, but you'll never
Yeah.
be the longest one unless I think it's 3 minutes and 3 hours and 5 minutes or something.
Oy.
Yeah.
Is it that long?
Yeah, Woody and I talked for a really long time. It was kind of fun. I didn't know when it would end, and he just kind of suddenly was like, "Yeah, I'm done talking now." Weird.
Yeah. Oh, I got a message. Maybe it's a question.
How to beat Redora.
Yeah.
Read the War Smash.
More people want to buy the T-shirt.
I want to buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, how many?
One. I mean, I don't need more than 2 or 1, I guess.
Okay, I'll write you up for one here. There we go.
Oh,
No.
that's what you should do. You should add. This is my suggestion. You should add a store.
Okay, I got another order for a hoodie.
So you do have a store.
No,
Oh.
it was a personal order from Mr. Screw the Trees.
Do you think we will see another Warcraft 3 game or more of a platform? Yes, it's called the War Smash.
What is another Warcraft 3 game? Like when Frozen Throne was launched?
Oh, I guess this is a. Oh, I actually have a good real question. So, if you heard about the people who broke off when I guess they got fired or told to find a different place in Blizzard, they made Frost Giant and Dreamhaven.
Yeah.
So they are looking to create an RTS game within a couple years. Do you think Hive would ever float the? I think they're planning to have a world editor or like modding. Do you think Hive would I mean, it's so far out. It's kind of a bad question. But would you float the idea of maybe supporting modding on new RTS?
The key to Warcraft's modding success is simplicity and free multiplayer, in the terms that you don't have to code anything to have multiplayer working. I think that's the key to the success, because if you're making your own game in Unity or something, adding networking is really, really hard. So when with Warcraft, you get it for free and you can make your own map. So if they make a comparable editor and they support it, and it's a good game in general, yeah, for sure. I've always been wanting to somehow branch out. It would be nice to branch out into game development in general as well. But I mean, Hive started with me modding Warcraft. If we are to branch for real into another game or into Unity development or something, I have to be there and be interested in it. So we need a key person who is interested in Frost Giants or Dreamhaven's RTS modding to help with that. Because I mean, at 1 to 2 hours at best every night, it's hard to learn modding a new game and actually running the site and working on the site and expanding the site to encompass this game in the quality people are used to expect, with custom uploads and all that. So yes, the answer is yes.
Awesome.
But it's complicated.
Yeah, I can imagine. It'll be a long time. So.
I mean, we support StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it was hidden inside Gamers Hub, inside Off Topic for the longest time. Now it's invisible inside Off Topic, the forum. Don't really know where to put it, but I put a lot of effort into making the resource section so I don't want to remove it. And StarCraft 2 modding is a potential extra pivot for Hive, but I don't know. It's not that interesting to me.
Yeah. They did.
I definitely don't want it to die, though. Definitely don't want Hive to. I can't imagine one day shutting off the server. That would kill me. In a few years, I have had Hive longer than half of my life. I'm in there for the long haul, I think. I actually have arrangements in case I pass out or die, of course. So my wife will know what to do if I'm not here anymore.
Oh my god, you have
Yeah, I care about it.
That's awesome. Well, I think I mean we already talked about it, but I think people are upset and whatever, but this is what I noticed. I mean, I came back because of Reforged. Not really because of Reforged, but the updates before Reforged, because I saw Warcraft 3 got updated for the first time in like 5 years, and I was like, sick. I'm gonna come play Warcraft 3.
Those updates were made by the Reforged team for Reforged. It was just gifted to everyone as well. If you look at it that way, everyone has Reforged. Those who don't pay just don't have to turn off HD graphics.
But yeah, so I think over 5 years or something, it's probably going to be more people. It's on the BattleNet launcher. They can't forget about it forever.
Yeah. Yeah. They recently updated the launcher with a video. And in the video, they said you can customize your list of games. And the list didn't have Warcraft, but they added Warcraft as their favorite game. If that's not a sign of
Interesting.
something from someone, I don't know what is. But
I'm gonna have to watch
interesting.
that.
They pick. Yeah, it's kind of cute. I don't know if it's a disgruntled employee wanted to show that he added it as a favorite, because I guess that's kind of a freedom when you make the video. You just gotta show how you add something as a favorite game. They probably don't script which game it is. They just, the guy who makes the video just picked that one.
Yeah, 21.9 support. I thought the patches right before Reforged were great. I mean, there's like 24 players. It was sick. Everyone made 24 player maps.
But would you say 132 is worse than 131?
I forget about the big changes in 131.
Because 132 Classic is basically just Reforged, and 131 is Reforged before it was released. So
132 Classic is. I'm not gonna be able to Google this.
I think it was more and more stable with every patch. That's my feeling anyway. I can't say for sure. Haven't been that deep in it.
My only real gripe, like, I mean, everyone like, oh, they crashed, whatever, but I don't like the new UI. I mean, whatever, I've gotten used to it, but I really like the yellow text on like gray background. The old UI was like really.
Yeah, it's more arcade-like now, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's my only, and like the chat like blocks the map info and stuff. All this stuff. That's my only like.
Yeah.
In the newer patches, what's worse or whatever.
Yeah, and it shows the wrong player count.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with Hive now, because Hive always mimicked what Blizzard showed. But I guess it makes more sense to show how many players can actually fit in a game than the number of technically player people, whatever that means, AIs and so. Yeah, so if there's no more questions, we should call it a video, because there's a lot of dead air now.
Looks like you're not going to beat Redoraz. Man, I keep fucking.
Yeah, I
not
think
going to beat Redoraz time.
At me. I need to practice.
Yeah, you need to practice
posts.
your unhinged monologues, because it's really important to be able to do that. I'm not saying that Redra does unhinged monologues, but I'm gonna say that it is a valuable skill.
I wouldn't say that he isn't either.
All right, awesome. So
yeah.
remember, buy another copy of Warcraft 3. Go to Hive Workshop. Thank you for coming on.
Donate on Hive Workshop.
Donate on Hive Workshop. You can hire him. He just said that you can pay him a full salary and he'll quit his job. There's Remoose is coming out on Friday. Test the bugs.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
find the bugs.
The old one's getting thrown away. Do you have any final words for your adoring fans?
Thanks for letting me run this huge community. I don't know how it happened, but I own it and I run it. And I'm doing what I can to make it good.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Have a great day.
You too.